Awesome.
more.
Okay. Well, let me get this started. Hello, my name is Rob Gaines, and this is my speech 3 for my communications class from NIC. To start out, imagine hundreds of eyes are upon you as you stand on a stage where you are supposed to give a speech that you had prepared for weeks in advance. But the pressure from the audience was too much. This horrible pit formed in your stomach, causing a cold sweat all over your body, and then your mind just went blank. Everything that you memorized went completely out of memory. All that you could manage to utter is an awkward Now, all of us, in some way, have gone through a traumatic or even just embarrassing experience such as this, but it doesn't have to be this way. There are ways to combat this kind of speech anxiety. Now, ever since my freshman year, I've had an interest in improving my speaking skills because when I first started high school here, they were very lacking. I got very nervous when presenting anything, and my grades suffered as a result. And so over the past 4 years, I've come up with different ways to combat this speech anxiety, also known as glossophobia. And I would like to share these insights with you today. Now, my central idea that I want to convey to you is that by employing certain habits and techniques, it is very well possible to greatly reduce, if not completely eliminate, speech anxiety as a whole. Today I will discuss why you should try and combat this speech anxiety, methods to enhance your speaking skills, and how your future speeches and presentations will improve as a result. First, let's take a look at the fundamentals of speech anxiety. According to Nick Morgan, a renowned speaking coach, public speaking to most of the population is more terrifying than death itself. In fact, 75% of the population suffers from some kind of speech anxiety. According to Mary Barn, another renowned communications coach, those that are affected often cannot rise up in their social spheres or get promoted at their workplace because the speech anxiety causes them to get very nervous and perform poorly in environments such as interviews. Now, in schools, such as here, students who suffer from glossophobia can also suffer from poor grades due to poor performance on speeches and presentations in their schoolwork. So, now Now that we've seen the effects that speech anxiety has on the general populace, let me show you how to combat this glossophobia. First off, and you've heard this hundreds of times, practice your speech well in advance. At least a week before you're scheduled to give your speech, make sure it's finished and that you practice a little bit every day here and there, just so that you're familiar with the material. Before your speech, about 10 minutes beforehand, start yawning a little bit here and there. And this increases the blood flow to the lips and also relaxes the vocal cords, so that it is easier to talk and speak fluently. Also, and I know this sounds weird, but do some power poses beforehand. Find some private room or even a bathroom stall and assume the intimidating executive stance or the Wonder Woman stance or the victory stance. Now, I know this sounds strange, but it actually changes your biochemistry. By assuming these stances, it triggers a release of endorphins in your brain, increases your testosterone level, reduces your heart rate and your blood pressure, and increases your confidence as a result. According to Dana Carney from the Harvard Business School, not only do these postures reflect power, but they also produce it in a physical sense. Now, during your speech and shortly before your speech, make sure to relax. Breathe. And that is very important. This is what will keep you from hyperventilating and keep your heart rate down. Focus on inhaling deeply, holding it for a little bit, exhaling, then holding it for a little bit, and then inhaling again. Slow down your breathing, and this will lower your heart rate and your anxiety as a result. Now let's take a look at the benefits of using these tactics to combat speech anxiety. Imagine walking up to a podium in front of a giant crowd of people with your anxiety at a manageable level. Picture projecting your voice far off into the back of the audience and allowing your voice to clearly reverberate in their attentive ears. And picture yourself striding back to your seat after a successful speech, knowing full well that you killed it up there. This is possible. By employing these tactics that I have showed you, you can overcome your speech anxiety. Now to sum up, today I covered how glossophobia affects the general population, steps to overcome this anxiety, and the benefits you will experience as a result of implementing the tactics that I have shown you. This fear will not go away. You must be proactive and you must take a stand against this anxiety. Next time you have a speech coming up, prepare beforehand. Don't procrastinate until the last minute. And then before the speech, utilize these breathing tactics that I've showed you. And also, even if it sounds funny, do some of these power poses for about 30 seconds each. And that will increase your confidence and it will make it easier to talk in front of a large audience. Do not let this skill remain untapped. Take a stand now and experience the success that success in public speaking can bring. Thank you for listening. Are there no one? Yes, Katie.
Are there any other stances you would recommend besides those three?
There are some more intense stances which I can't demonstrate. It's a little bit more unconventional, I guess, but say like doing a lunge like this actually has the same effect. Some other ones are, say, Mr. G wasn't in the chair, but in
chair?
Sure, I'll demonstrate it.
I find that this works well for me. But anyhow.
So if you're in a chair like this, by putting your feet up on the desk and going like this, that also has the same effect. Like when you see pictures of presidents in the Oval Office, they're oftentimes doing this, and it asserts authority and confidence, and it actually changes your biochemistry to reflect that. Any other questions?
Right.
Yes.
Like along with that, does it help to like kind of, I don't know, like pretend like you're in those positions of power that those poses are supposed to represent, like pretending like you're some big top executive? Does that also help with the biochemistry changing?
Yeah, I've read a little bit about that. By getting your mind in a different state, by kind of building yourself up and visualizing that you are the kind of power person that you would like to become, it does actually change your physical mindset in your body physically to reflect that. It's kind of like the same principle of fake it until you become it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yes, that would help.
Okay.
Anything else? All right, thank you very much.